Students constantly try to find ways to save money as the cost of education increases. Whether it's just eating mac and cheese for dinner instead of a well-balanced meal, or getting a job that may interfere with the reason why they are in school. A better way to offset some of the expenses to receive an upper-level education is to cut costs at the source. Full-time college students spend anywhere from $250 to $500 per semester for textbooks. Some textbooks can cost upwards of $200 alone. With a cheaper alternative to the outdated paper textbook, such as digital text resources, students could put their money toward more important needs. According to our survey, 78% of students said they would rather use a digital textbook if it was cheaper than a traditional textbook. So how do you feel about the price of textbooks?
I feel ill about it. It's kind of high, especially when most people don't even crack them. I have not used several of my textbooks this semester, and yet I had to buy them anyway. It'd be nice to see electronic format, but I realize it's not feasible for everyone, and there are drawbacks.
Okay. How much would you say you spent on textbooks this past semester?
Maybe $200.
And how many of your textbooks did you actually use over this past semester?
Maybe one.
According to the University of Maryland's independent student newspaper, the Diamondback, in the last 35 years, textbook costs have risen 812%. According to the same article, one student spent $800 on his textbooks for the semester and only received $400 when he tried to sell them back to the bookstore. Freshmen spend more on textbooks than upperclassmen do. This is mostly due to the fact that freshmen don't realize the benefits of buying a book used. A $200 textbook seems like an impossible sell in a world where someone can purchase or download a bestseller for $10 or $13, but students need textbooks to do well in their classes. The rise in textbook costs have been twice the rise of inflation in the past 2 decades, according to an article from the USA Today. An 812% increase in textbook costs in the past 35 years is outrageous compared to the prices of recreational reading books.
Ready. How do you feel about the price of textbooks?
I believe the price of textbooks are just like way too high. Like you already pay a lot coming here to Purdue, especially like out-of-state students, and then you have to come and pay like so much more just for the books themselves, and it's kind of unexpected because you never know how much to pay. Yeah.
Okay. How much would you say you spent on textbooks this past semester?
This past semester, I probably spent about. Okay, well this semester wasn't as bad as last semester, just because the second semester. Probably about $300. Last semester I paid about like $800.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And how many of your textbooks did you use out of those that you bought?
I used all my lab manuals, this cost a little, but my actual textbooks, not really, I don't really use them unless I have to study.
To counteract the high cost of textbooks, cheaper options should be made more readily available to students. One of these could be an online textbook. The free online textbook is the textbook of the future. Currently, there are online textbooks available, but they are still quite expensive for a college student to buy, especially when there is not material cost involved. It is simply a web page similar to Wikipedia. The online version of the textbook for English 106 is $32.99 in comparison to the price of the printed textbook of $54.99 or higher, depending on what comes with the textbook. One alternative is the open textbook. Open textbooks are licensed textbooks available online that users can download, customize, and print with ease. If students aren't open to using an electronic textbook, some authors offer print-on-demand copies that are professionally bound for $10 to $20. Remember, the English 106 online textbook is $32.99 without the option to print. This open textbook model would drastically change how textbooks are used and produced. So how do you feel about the cost of textbooks currently?
Could you go ahead and do
They're exorbitant. I think that the textbook companies have figured out that college students are almost like a captive audience, and that they can come out with new editions every year and raise prices every year, and there's really nothing college students can do about it because they have to buy the required tech.
And how many of your textbooks have you used over the past year?
I'd say not that many, because a lot of books I have to buy are online, and I just ended up using those editions. So, I mean, I bought them, but didn't end up using many of them. So,
And how much would you say you spent on textbooks in the past semester?
that's a good question. Well, luckily, since I'm studying English, we don't have the ridiculously priced like the engineering books or the like math textbooks, but still pretty expensive. Probably a good $250, $300 a semester on books.
What students are looking for is a cheaper alternative to the traditional paper textbook. And in a world where most of our information is gathered from online sources for free, an online textbook seems like the best and most user-friendly alternative for current and future students.